Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, World of Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at 3 tanks that will never be sold again in World of Tanks Blitz. Yes, you heard that right. These tanks will never be sold again. And that's kind of crazy to think about. For many years, I never even thought of the possibility that Wargaming would release vehicles that never will be sold again. Even the Kennyatsu, I can see Wargaming selling if they wanted to at some point. But the vehicles we'll be talking about today, they actually legally can't sell again, at least until they do another partnership, and that is because these tanks are not entirely owned by Wargaming. The first vehicle that we will be talking about in the list is the Endurance. This is a Tier 7 Blitz Nation light tank, and it is based off of Star Trek. And because of that, Wargaming doesn't have the rights to sell this tank again. So the only way we would ever see this tank sold again is if Star Trek did another collaboration with Wargaming. That's the only way. And yeah, kind of crazy when you think of it like that. The Endurance is a pretty fun vehicle. Features a 5-shell clip. It's got decent DPM. It's got okay penetration for a Tier 7 light. I mean, there's nothing incredible about this gun or vehicle itself. It's kind of just a reskinned AMX 1357. But I actually really like the tank. It's very fun to drive. It's got super good mobility, crazy good reverse speed. And it's not easy to high explosive pen due to the way its armor is angled. It's actually really fun to mess around with. So because of that, this is actually one of the Tier 7s I really enjoy playing. It's probably not my favorite Tier 7, but I definitely put it higher up in my ranking of them in terms of fun. It's just a really fun tank to mess around with. Here we are in a pretty solid matchup, actually. We only have a couple Tier 7s, and then the rest are Tier 6s. We have 2 Panzer Kampfwagen 4s, an Explorer, and a Skoda. I've seen a lot of Explorers and a lot of Panzer 4Ss, just because of the fact Wargaming's been giving them away for free lately. Pretty nice of Wargaming, to be honest. This has definitely been the best span of free tanks we've ever seen. I don't think this is going to last too much longer, as this is mainly for the 10-year celebration of the game. So I would expect the game to go back to normal in the next few months once the 10-year celebration is over, and then you won't be seeing, as many free tanks given away would be my guess. Well, not too bad. We've already done a little bit of free damage. You can see just how quick this tank reverses, too, just from that little bit of reversing there. It's actually pretty impressive. So we got our clip loaded again. We got the Explorer down low. We only have a Jackson and a Basoto over here. And that's a little bit sussler, I'm not going to lie, because the enemy team, well, they might start playing a little aggressive. We got 1, 2, 3. Ooh, keep going. 4, 5. There you go. Nice. That's a little juicer into the enemy there. We do have support at least, but they got a lot of tanks. We're going to reload. Oh, and our teammate's just kind of YOLOing in. All right, well, if he's going to do that, let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go. Nice little chunk of damage into the enemy. Silencer is going to kill my teammate, though, which is not very good. Our team's not doing a whole lot right now, if I'm going to be completely real. Let's see if we can kind of get out. Well, you know what? 1, 2, 3. See ya. There goes the Panzer. We do get hit once for 158, but it's not too big of a deal. I think right now the best play to make is to help out against the E10 if I can. I would expect our Black Prince to be able to get that clear. So let's push the E10. There's 1, 2. Ooh, almost rammed in 3, 4, and 5. Oh, we're kind of stuck on him. Really, bruh. That's a little cringe. All right, let's just drive over here and let's pretend like we're leaving. Actually, yeah, he's not even looking at us anyway, so that's good for me. There's 1, 2, 3. He's dead. All right, I mean, at this point, it's a 4 versus 4. Silencer's a one-shot. And if the Explorer decides to YOLO, I don't think that's going to be the best play that he could make, because we're going to start getting shells out. There's 1, 2. There you go. He's dead. We got the Panzer IV. You're not dead, but now you are. Had 1 health left. Pretty fun game, though. We did over 3,000 damage. We're going to get a win, and it's a great example to showcase the capabilities of this tank. It's just an absolute blast to mess around with. And as you'll notice, this tank is very, very quick. We are light after all, and we are going to try and chase down the M41 Bulldog, who is running away. We got one shell into him right there. He's obviously going to keep on running. He drives into a wall, bruh. You know what? You don't even deserve a shot. There you go. Oh, that's great. That was a very fun game, and it's a honestly fantastic showcase of this tank. I really, really, really like it. As I said, I love every type of light tank, and this is just an absolute beast due to its clipping potential, damage output. I mean, it's not an overpowered tank by any means, but it's definitely a fun one. We earned a lot of credits and had a pretty solid result there. So that is the Endurance, a vehicle that will never be sold again. Now we make our way over to a medium, the Mutant. This is part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collaboration. And obviously, the same reasons that the Endurance is not allowed to be sold are the same for this vehicle as well. I actually really like the Mutant, to be honest. A lot of people gave this tank flack when it was released, but I think it's a beast. 470 damage per shot makes this the highest by far for a tier 7 medium. Its DPM isn't bad either at 1700. It's more than enough at the tier. And its dispersion with refined gun is pretty good. It's got 220 mils of heat pen. I mean, it's not the best tier 7 by any means. The Smasher is literally better in every way. But it's a Smasher. It's the most overpowered tier 7 right up there next to the Annihilator. You can't compare apples to oranges. If we compared every tier 7 to the Smasher, it would just be a list of trash and then the Smasher. So that's not really fair. If you compare this tank to other tier 7 mediums, which is what you should compare it to, I think it's pretty strong. First of all, the next highest alpha you'll find is something like the Sphere, which is 290 alpha. So this thing's got a lot. Another very high alpha medium is something like the CS52 Lease. I think that's actually the highest in tier 7, maybe 300-ish alpha. I think it's 310 or something like that. But even then, this completely trumps that alpha. It's not even close. So the damage per shot on this vehicle is really good. It's got a decent amount of hit points as well. The only problem I have with this tank is that it's very slow and it has rather poor gun depression. And those two values don't really merge well together. You do want gun depression and you do want mobility. And if you don't have both of them, it can definitely be problematic for you. However, I don't think it's too big of a deal, because again, you're down in tier 7. It's not like you're fighting tier 10s in this tank, and it's not that big of an issue. There you go, look at that. 508 into the AMX 5100 across the map. I mean, that's kind of insane when you think about it. Name a tier 7 that could have done that. The Smasher could have, but again, the Smasher's not a medium, so we're not counting that really in our comparison. Now, we did get spotted, and I don't even know from what, but it's a little sussler, I'm not gonna lie. A little sussler that I did get detected. Do they have a tank over here? I don't know. A T-25-2 all the way in the back. Well, T-25-2 is now missing almost half of his health, as we got another big old juicer out. So we're going to reload. We're going to see if we can maybe cut off the T-49. We have 2 seconds left, and, well, interesting. I mean, the T-49's still back there. We're probably going to lose this. I'm looking at what's going on, and it's bad. And our team's not really doing much. So, yeah, we're already down quite a bit, which is not necessarily good. Oh, 649 into that guy. And he's gone. Let's be honest. I'm just going to let the Sheriff clear him. And I'm going to push the Blaze. Well, let's see if we can get a little bit of damage out into this Blaze very, very quickly. Aiming. Not able to high explosive pen him, but that's still a pretty big juicer. I mean, you can see why this tank's pretty fun. It just frickin' slaps. Unfortunately, our Sheriff really didn't think about crossing in the open. It did not go well for him. Oh well, as I mentioned, this game is not going to be a win. We have an E10 camping in spawn. Our Sheriff didn't really understand crossing too well. Not a great start. Let's move over here. Let's see if we can get a shell into the T-34. Boom. Bad roll, only 350, but still 350 damage. For any other medium, that would have been an incredibly high roll. So, pretty good stuff. All right, let's reload again. And T-34 is still over there. T-49. T-34 actually rather surprisingly jumped off. Didn't think he would do that. Trying to just think of how I want to deal with this situation. And, I mean, the Tigers... Oh, they're stepping in the base. See, now that's a problem. I don't like when tanks step into the base because it forces me to have to make a play. That's when I don't like... That's when I don't like it. Now, the Tiger one does get shot, which is obviously pretty good for us. I'm going to move a little bit up here. However, I'm obviously not able to see, as of yet, who is in the base. I'm going to cross this, and I'm hoping the T-49 gets the clear. Ah, it's the IS-3 that's in the base. Well, that sucks. Went through my mantlet, and then the Tiger shot me. I really thought our T-49 was going to kill the Tiger, but nope. He actually bounces the shell. Of course he does. You got one job, and you completely fail at it. Well, I mean, you only had the rear of him, so what else should I have expected, right? Well, we still got the shell out. We bled half of our health, but it's better than bleeding all of it. Our team really needs to step up their... Yeah, I can't do anything. I mean, I don't have the camo values, and I don't really have the capability to do anything about the base, so... Hopefully the IS-3 gets out of it, but if he doesn't, I'm going to push through mid with the E-10, and we'll see if I can... Oh, now that is not where I expected the T-25-2 to be sitting, but we're going to load in a high explosive shell. Oh, and it goes low. That sucks. I mean, he's still a one-shot for me, which is pretty good. Actually, that's really good, because that means if the T-25-2 pokes, which he will, we might actually be able to clear him. Here we go. Aiming. 3, 2, 1. Aw, low rolls. Just a tiny bit. But we still bring his tank down to 7 health. The IS-3 is obviously a big threat, but I'm not going to allow him to hit me, so that's not really my problem right now. It's the E-10 versus the IS-3, and what I'm hoping is that... Ooh, come on, IS-3. There you go. Nice 428 shot into his tank, and now we go over here. Let's see if we can bait the IS-3. Yes, beautiful. Baited him right over towards us, and the T-49 cleared him. So, actually, a pretty good win. Again, as we can see, the Mutant is a very, very fun vehicle, and we were able to get out a 3,800 damage result in a match where we were in a really unfun battle. I mean, the enemy team had every advantage there. All they had to do was wait. But they pushed out and they died because of that. So I can't get too mad. We had a pretty good result. And there's the smasher, ladies and gents. Oof. Yeah. But we did pretty good. I mean, the Mutant is a very, very solid vehicle. And I've been doing pretty well in it. I'm sitting at around 2,400 average with 80% solo. That's pretty good. I really like it. And it is a little unfortunate that we might never see it sold again. Because it's one of those fun tanks that isn't OP, but is just really fun to bonk people in. And that brings us to Ground Tank, a vehicle that, well, we all know the memes about. It's definitely not going to be sold again unless Dune Part 3 does a collaboration with Wargaming again, or Dune Part 4. I know there's a lot of Dune movies. Either way, that's the only world where we're seeing this tank come back, because it's the same reasons as the two vehicles before. It is a collaboration. The Ground Tank is... It's good and equally awful. The armor on it is really good frontally, and it's actually really good on the sides. However, the tank is massive. It's not very tall, and it's not as big as the mouse. I know you've seen the Swetchman video. He literally resized the tank and faked it. It's not bigger than the mouse, so that I would want to cover right now. But it is still a very large vehicle, and... Well, it's actually worse than the mouse, and I would say its dimensions, because it's width, not height. The tank's just so freaking wide, and it's the turret. I mean, literally, the turret on this vehicle is massive, and the problem is, every part of it is a weak spot. It's angled, it's flat if you're looking away from somebody, especially, you know, if somebody's looking at this part, it's flat. It's got a lot of weaknesses, and when you pair that with the absolutely horrible traverse speed this tank has, it can be rather hard to use. But in return, the vehicle has 440 damage per shot. It has 9 degrees of gun depression and very good penetration. So there are situations where you can actually do very well in the vehicle. If you over-angle the hull, you can get bounces, but the problem is you can see he shot me in the turret. I was really hoping he would actually shoot me in the hull, because that's where the armor is, especially against spaced. So we're going to reload again, and we're going to poke him, and there you go. That time, I don't know where he shot me, but I don't actually know. Ah, he hit me there. Interesting. Well, that was just a bad shot from him. I don't know why he would aim there. But we're doing fine as it is. Let's reload, and let's see if we can get another shell. Oh, he bounces me again. There you go. Another nice shot. Oh, he hit me in the same spot as before. He's just pressing the fire button too early. He needs to wait like 2 seconds before he shoots. That's just a him problem. All right, let's see. We got the AMX in the back, and there you go. 428 damage shell into that enemy AMX. Pretty good stuff. And we reload again. But yeah, the turret is the big issue I have with this tank. It's not actually the hull. All right, let's see if the AMX decides to poke. There you go. Nice 442 damaging shell into his tank. And we reload again. I mean, the AMX is now a one-shot. Scorpion G, if he pokes, is going to lose a lot of health. So I don't really see a world where the Scorpion G pokes us. But I will poke the... Oh, no, I don't want to be... I don't want to be double shot. Scorpion kills him, which kind of sucks. Let's see, AMX. Are you going to poke it? I'm looking at you. But it does not look like he wants to poke. Ooh, but 588 into the Scorpion. Don't think he enjoyed that very much. Well, that's pretty good. That is all nice and dandy. I actually like the ground tank, like, as much as I meme on it. It is actually a rather fun vehicle. It hits very hard, and it has pretty good armor. It's just unfortunate that once you fight, especially higher-tiered opponents, the armor starts to fall apart pretty quickly. I don't really see where that AMX would poke me, but we're going to focus the Scorpion right now. We're going to get a clearing shell into him. We're going to angle the turret out. We get a bounce. Nice. And now, the AMX is going to start running. But the question is, can he outrun the mighty ground tank? And the answer is, yes, he can. Because, yeah, this tank's not very mobile. Well, I was going to say it's mobile enough. However, the game disagreed. Well, it was a pretty good game either way. We actually did a lot of damage. We blocked a lot, and we won. So, there you go, ladies and gents. That is the ground tank. I do it in the mic, but I don't want to deafen everybody. 3,823 damage. So, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and let me know your thoughts, beliefs, and opinions on these 3 tanks. All of them are fun. I would say the ground tank is the least fun for me out of the 3, but it's still a fun tank, and it's a goofy one, so I can say that at least. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.